want to feed him, dude? You want to feed him? I'll catch a fish. I'll catch a fish for him. I'm going to catch a fish for him and throw it on the shore. He's a real beauty. He's a real beauty. Let me get right up on him. All right. Hey guys, how you doing? Birdman here. Hope all my friends are doing well. And I have a little tiny video here to do in between taking care of some storm damage and blowdowns and things like that. Just a couple of minutes, and I'm going to do a Mora knife mod. I got two of these 511s for 18 bucks. As you can see, I got it taped off, and I'm going to attempt, never did this before, but I'm going to attempt to do a multi-grind on this. I'm going to thin out this tip, going out to the tip, and do a distal taper on it. Okay, a little more slicing friendly for camp. Tomatoes, cucumbers, stuff like that. And then this back edge, I'm going to hold on to the Scandi grind for a little bit of wood processing if I want to start a campfire. And this is the knife that inspired me. One of my favorites now is the WC Firebug. I put a little tech lock on the back. It's a cheapo. It's not the real tech lock, but it's a small one. It won't take the big tech lock. So that's what I came up with. And then I have this here neck knife option because it's fairly heavy for a knife with no handles and stuff, but it's a beast. It's got a multi-grind on it. You got a nice Scandi here for wood processing, you know, that sort of thing. And then we go out to a nice round area for skin and game. And then here at the distal end, it's a distal taper, as you can see. See how it goes down to a taper? And you could actually do a little bit of food prep with that. You know, onions, apples, tomatoes, cucumbers, that sort of thing. But and I got a little fire starter on there, a little ferro rod. So this has become one of my favorites. You throw it in a pack, you can put it on your belt, you can hang it. That tech lock don't weigh nothing. So that's my plan and that's my goal. We'll see if it happens. If you watch the video, if the video goes up, I guess it happened. So let's try to do this with a $9 knife. And if I screw it up, I screw it up. I'll do something with it if I goof it up. But let's go into the grinder and see what we can come up with. Alright guys, I got a little grinder here, a little Harbor Freight grinder. This is where I do my grinding here. Got a nice tin foil base. Got a little ice water in a tin can that some goofball threw out in front of the house. And alright, let's try to put the grind on the knife and see what happens.
Wear your mask, take your pills, now
Alright guys, one thing that happened is the tip, I screwed up the tip, but everything else is going pretty good. I'm almost getting like a saber grind on it. So I'm pretty happy with that, with what's going on so far. I'm going to finish it up with the stone, but let me just show you this part here. Just taking that Scandi out of there, all by hand. Yeah, it's looking real good. Put it in the ice water bath. We're going to put a drop point on this. Going to do the whole thing here. Put a 90 on it. At least on the front half of the blade. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to put a drop point on it. Yeah, looking pretty good. I think we can get the rest by hand. Never did this before. Coming out decent. We'll see what happens here. Okay guys, project's coming along pretty good. A little ice water on the stone here. And now, honestly, the hand grind is really making a difference here. Once you do get the majority of your material off. So what you're going to do then is you're going to try to follow your Scandi and take it back and almost get that distal taper into. This is actually looking like a saber grind, but I'd like to eventually get it to a flat grind. So you're going to take it and just work the edge of that Scandi. Now I've been at this for an hour trying to get it as close to a combination grind, all off of the Scandi grind. You follow your stone. Mr. Collins taught me this too. You get your angle on your Scandi, and you follow it right back. And yeah, this is coming out really good. I'm surprised that I was able to do this. And we'll see if it holds its temper after I was on the grinding wheel with it. But that Scandi grind, follow it right to your taper. That same angle. Like I said, this has been about an hour trying to blend it in. And I'm eventually going to get this to a flat grind. And then I use this for everything. The same deal. Follow your Scandi. Just by hand. Nothing's exact, nothing's with a measurement here. Just trying to make myself a knife that costs 10 bucks, $9 and some cents. I wanted to take this is up for a camp, Bigfoot Swamp, for when I go up there next time. I'm going to leave it up there. I want to be able to make a fire with it, and I also want to be able to cut vegetables with it. But the key is following that scanty grind. It's not that hard. And that's really sharp. I'm amazed at it, to be honest with you. And then I did a 90. Okay, let me show you this. I treated this with apple cider vinegar and did that to it to try to preserve it. I'm going to do the whole thing like that, but I wanted to do it so you could see the transition. And look at that. We're going from a Scandi into a saber. Same thing on this side. It's not perfect. It's all by hand. And then I put a 90 on it. Now, this is what I'm calling the distal taper. Look at the difference here, guys. The thickness by the handle down to the distal end. And I put a 90-degree grind on this. And you could tone it up by hand. And I ruined the tip on the grinder. You could see the drop, almost a little bit like a clip point. Yeah, halfway between a clip point and a drop point. And I think I got the whole thing pretty sharp. Almost cat part like. Crazy. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me grab the ferro rod real quick and show you. But not bad for my first try. Looks pretty close, right? Alrighty. Here's the ferro rod, one of my favorites. Thanks to my buddy who sent me this, that inspired me to do this. I love this knife. And he also sent me these ferro rods. And these square ones, I love them. He did a hand wrap on that with the striker. Look at that. Alright, there's the knife. And I only did the front half. I didn't do the back in case I want to bear down on that back. Excellent, man. I'm very happy with my creation. I don't think you've seen this mod on YouTube yet, but that grind blends right in the bottom there, going from that Scandi to that saber. And I'm going to take it down even further to a flat grind. That's sharp. Let me get a tomato and I'll show you how good it works. Okay guys, one last test here. A little bit of cherry tomatoes. Got the Bird Meadowlark 2 razor sharp. very thin knife, just to show you what this thing. Cherry tomatoes aren't the easiest thing to slice, and this thing's like a razor blade. And there's that. Now, here's the modified Mora. You could see the thickness. Look at the thickness on the tip. I got that down pretty good, I think. And we'll use the saber grind part. And these are very ripe tomatoes. Look at that. I cleaned it up a little bit. It's got a saber grind on it right now. And the project came out fantastic. So yeah, I don't think I ever saw this here modification on YouTube before. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. And I got myself a new camp knife along with my inspiration knife, which goes with me now all over the place. Ooh, my WC. I forgot to mention it's got a pry bar on it too. Pry bar screwdriver type thing. But this is what caused me to make this. Just thought for the average guy, it's pretty nice. And that's it. It cut up the tomatoes. Anybody who's a knife guy, and you know the Bird series, this is the Metal Art 2. About a $30 knife, but it's like a razor blade. So thin and nice. The Mora did the same thing.